NIO is facing a serious demand issue, and it's a nice problem to have actually, because this one is about the popularity of the ET5. You may have seen some of those photos emerge, and this is because the ET5 has now started to showcase at NIO houses and NIO spaces. So over the country they have close to 400 of such locations where people can go offline and watch the real products. And well, what you see here is something really kind of new here, that people are queuing in lines in NIO stores. Actually, there have been some Chinese reports saying, like, the iPhone 14 really didn't get people like very curious and excited anymore. But now we have a different phenomena happening in China, which is around the ET5, and actually that's even more than what we've seen with the introduction of the Tesla Model 3. So let's look at some photos here, some first impressions. First of all, this is happening at different locations across China. So it's not only in Beijing or Shanghai, it's not only in the bigger cities, but also in some other NIO places. And what you can see across the board are people standing in line in order to get a first sight at the ET5. And what I think is a really interesting part about this is that the crowd is looking actually a bit younger this time than what you would usually have from some of the NIO buyers. Well, NIO started out with SUV models, family vehicles, quite large SUVs, and so these have been popular mostly with people 40, 50, 60 plus that of course have also the necessary pocket money to afford such kind of a model. And now the significance of the ET5 is, of course, that this one is catered more to the needs of young people that are buying the first cars, people that not have started a family yet. Maybe they are more about this sporty look, and maybe for those who are rich enough to have it as a second car, maybe for the wife, who knows. And so, well, that is really impressive to see that, you can see it here. Those people are really looking a bit younger, fashionable, of course. And yes, of course, this will also drive demand of some of the existing lineups of NIO, because, of course, those people may come across to see the ET5, but then, of course, this automatically also generates more buzz for some of the other vehicles. And looking at some of these latest pictures that have emerged about NIO and the ET5, I do actually think that this car could be really well received also in Europe. So this, from the aesthetics, I think is fitting well with some of the European buyers. And so I'm hoping, but I'm not very confident, that this will also come to Europe very quickly in a large volume. I think, of course, they have lots of demand in China for this first, and so we'll see how soon, maybe 2023, we'll see those ET5s also on European roads. Here are some more impressions, people sitting in the car and checking it out across different venues and NIO spaces, NIO houses. That one is, for example, the one in Shanghai, and once again, quite young. Maybe some of those tech workers that are most interested in this sort of car right now. There has also been already product launching trainings for the ET5. So the ET5 has been driven here on a track, and I have to say it's looking really good, not only in the renderings that we've seen and the advertisements before, but it seems that the car is actually also looking good coming off the factory. Once again, more people crowded around the lineup here for NIO, and people had the chance to actually sit inside the car. This one is actually shot in what appears to be a NIO delivery center. So this might also be, from this test drives where people get access backstage also to NIO cars. But of course, also in the NIO houses and spaces, they can sit inside and see how it feels. Actually, I think the interior of the car is one of the best selling propositions of the car. And also, this guy notices that the space over the head and also in the back of the car seems to be quite good. 2 hands are fitting between the knees and the front seat. And this interior has this NIO fit and finish and quality that you would expect. I also saw this footage of an ET5 in the wild driving. This ET5 in black still seems to have some wrapping around it here on the NIO logo. You can see it when I zoom in a little bit. This doesn't seem to be, the final finish here, but looks good in black, to be honest. And the car was also immediately caught on a dash cam. The interior comes in different colors and styles, and this is really catered towards this younger target group, but while still, as you can see here with the leather, keeping this quality finish. So it's not a cheap impression of the car, I would say. Regarding the colors, I'm not sure like how are the impressions in real. They might be a little bit different to such kind of images there. I personally always prefer in black, but some of these colorful options are possibly also well sought after. There was also one user looking in the mall how NIO compared. So this is Louis Vuitton, and also a couple of people queuing there. Then Chanel, so all of the bigger luxury brands there, Hermes. You would think if you read the news that China doesn't have any money anymore and people are not buying and not spending anymore. But this doesn't seem to be the case. If you look at some of these pictures here, Chanel also have quite a crowd, and then the Apple store also quite busy, and then NIO also, the whole store is packed. So it can really compare to some of those premium to luxury brands there, international brands. And then this is the first Chinese brand really in this segment that is creating this sort of a buzz, I would say. So if you look at this, this of course begs the question, like how high is the demand really for the ET5? And well, there are rumors that they may have up to 200,000 of pre-orders. Now they can start locking those orders in. I think, based on those kind of reviews here that people are happy with it, hopefully the conversion rate might be pretty high, and maybe even generate even more buzz now on the social media side, and people, watching it in real in the store and telling their friends. So I could imagine that these orders for the ET5 are real and quite on a high side there. And this of course will rather create a demand problem in terms of that NIO needs to be quick to fulfill this demand. And this is not an easy task, as I'm always saying. Like, if you look at the interior, this is not some cheap stuff. This is quite sophisticated and a premium to luxury finish there that you cannot expect, like similar to BYD or even a brand like Tesla, which are using more low-cost material that is easier to produce. So NIO will be facing the challenges to really ramp up the production here, and not to produce lemons. By the way, this is also showing, maybe something that is not fitting perfectly yet, even in this show car. So NIO really needs to be careful to not destroy their brand with low quality in the very beginning. And this immense pressure that we see here with all of those people possibly placing orders now really is also a challenge in NIO's terms, because it will put pressure on people in the showrooms, and of course also in the factory, and with all of the issues going on with supply constraints, with COVID restrictions and so on. This will not be an easy task. And by the way, in this commentary, one person on WeChat was saying like, well, they looked at the ET5 but thought it's gonna be too small, so instead the ES7 seems to be the right one. So as I mentioned, this will put pressure on NIO on every model that they are producing. Each of the cars are possibly maxed out in terms of production. They will sell every car that they can produce, and the question is, how many can they produce? So let's hope the ET5 will put a smile on Li Bin's face and also on our investors' faces if they manage to ramp production. It will take some time, but this is all about patience. This is a good product in my point of view. Let me know in the comments what you think about the ET5. Will it be a success? How successful will it be? And are you surprised to see that many people queuing up for the ET5? And with that, enjoy your weekend. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.